So I've been thinking that my life here in Kenya is very different than mine back home, but oftentimes in little ways. And so mentally, I've been kind of making a list the past couple weeks of, oh, that's something I don't do back home. But now I've put the list on paper and I'm going to tell you what are the biggest little differences between my life back home and my life here. So the first one is that I drink tea every day. It's part of the culture to drink chai for breakfast, to drink it at there's a tea time around 10, 11 o'clock. Then there's a tea at 4-ish, and then oftentimes people drink tea after supper. So it's a lot of chai. I normally just drink 1 cup of chai a day, but anyway, that's part of the culture. And traditional Kenyan tea is like milky black tea with lots of sugar. So I'll have that sometimes, but often I'll have like a lemon ginger tea or a green tea with ginger in it, hibiscus, Earl Grey, sometimes just black tea with sugar. So that's the biggest thing, tea every day. The second one is that I walk a lot of places and take the public transportation. Back home, I would like to, but in the cities that I've lived, the public transportation hasn't been the most efficient. So mainly I've just driven myself around. So in Kenya, we walk everywhere. And if we can't walk, or it's too far to walk, or it's dangerous to walk, that's when we take a matatu, a bus, a tuk-tuk, which is like those little car things. So that's the second biggest difference. The third is that I make my food from scratch here. In the US, I love like instant packets of noodles where you just like add some water and butter and stuff, or like a nice jar of tikka masala sauce and you marinate your chicken in there and your vegetables. So good. But here, those things aren't really available, and if they are, they're like an hour away in a very expensive supermarket. So the food I make here is all from scratch. So if I want to make pancakes, there's no Bisquick, you make pancakes from scratch. If you want to make a pasta sauce, you make pasta sauce from scratch. So cakes, I made banana bread, which I make that from scratch at home, but also like tortillas and tacos or fried beans, all that you have to make from yourself. So I've learned a lot about cooking. The next thing that I do in Kenya that I don't do in the US is I often speak different languages. Now I'm not saying I'm fluent by any means in any language, but in here it's like you mix in, you'll be speaking English, but there's some words you want to say in Swahili or in Kikuyu, because those are the 2 languages I know a bit, and so I'll add those in. And it just feels natural. It just feels natural to add in some words like sasa means now. So maybe you're talking and you're like, sasa, and then it helps you transition to the next thought. So there's some words that I think make more sense in Swahili, so I often will use that while I'm talking. Or apana means no, and it's way more fun to say apana than to say no to something. So I switch languages sometimes. My favorite one maybe is that I wear sandals all year long. It's wonderful. I never have to wear socks unless I'm hiking, but for the most part, sandals. I can wear, like a short t-shirt and pants or shorts all year round, so it's beautiful. I love that. Another thing is that I wake up at the sunrise all year round. Because we're on the equator here, the sun rises at around 6:30 and sets around 6:30 every single day, all year long. So it's so natural to wake up and you know exactly what time it is based on the sun. Whereas in the US, if you wake up at 6 o'clock in the summer, it's very different than waking up at 6 o'clock in the winter. So I really like waking up and there's the sun. It's very predictable. My next difference is that this isn't so much something I do, but this is something that I feel, is that I feel fancy eating at fast food restaurants here in Kenya. Back home, like KFC and Burger King, places like that. What else is there? Like Domino's? Those kind of places, they're not considered fancy back home. They're just like fast food. Oh right, that's why it's called fast food. Anyway, it's quick food. It's good, but it's quick, But here, if you go to KFC, it's like a fine dining experience because it's pricier than eating at just like a small cafe. So getting fried chicken from KFC in Kenya you feel like you have to dress up a bit, which is just very different. It's a very different feeling. The next thing is that I am often explaining like American culture, American pop culture, or history to people. And back home, you don't feel the need to do that all the time. You know, most people know the basis of the history or all these different players, but here I feel like I'm always explaining, oh, I say this because of this, or this comes from this part of like the history or our culture. And so you're often having to explain things that you do or think, which back home is like, it would make no sense to do that. And the last difference that I thought of today, and I'm sure there's many more that I'll think of, so I might have to like keep this updated or something, because I know more will pop into my head once I finish the recording. But my last main difference in Kenya versus the US is that I drink room temperature water here, always. We don't have a fridge or like a water cooler thingy, so it's room temperature water unless it's like I'm at a restaurant or something. So that's something I miss dearly. I've only had ice like in my drink one time since I moved here in August, and that was in an iced tea. So the whole cold drink situation, I miss it a lot, but I will say I'm craving it less. It was really hard at first. I was craving cold water all the time, and now it's like I just crave water. I'm just thirsty, so I want to drink water. But that's a big difference, because if anyone knows me, I love cold ice water from back home. So that is my list of the differences between the US and Kenya. Okay, thanks for watching, and please subscribe if you want to see more videos about what I do and what my life is like here. Thank you.
What's up guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. As you know, it's Oge here, Kuyoni Dante. Yeah, today I'm having an opportunity to take you guys to a place where many of you have never been before. Oh, they just hear it on their radio stations, TV stations, so many other social media channels. So today I'm taking you to a place called North Horr in Marsabit County. North Horr is in Chalbi Desert. If you have ever heard about Chalbi Desert, this place is very dry, especially now, the time that I'm visiting. Right now I'm in Chalbi Desert, where I am now for some things here and there. So this place is so dry, especially these areas. You can see this area is called El Beso, and there is nothing. I wonder what these animals they are eating. I wonder what they are having, because as you can see, this place is dry, and I can say the only thing that is growing here is distance, maybe, because nothing else. This place is dry. I have talked to several people here around, and they are saying the only time they received rain is about 2 years ago or 1 year ago. That's what they are saying, according to what they are saying. Yeah, so there are so many dead animals around, and the place is dry, very dry, very dry. So just enjoy. Let me show you some pictures, show you some videos, and then yeah, show you the area where you have never been before. I don't know if you ever been before. If you have been Chalbi Desert and I'm not sure you have ever gone to this place called El Beso on the way to Ileret. So guys, enjoy, and please continue subscribing, like and comment. Remember our promise to get to 200k, not 200k, 2k by the end of this year, and we're gonna make it, because right now we are on 720 something subscribers. So we're gonna get to 2k, and I'm sure you guys will not disappoint me. And thanks for your support, for all supporting me every now and then. Continue subscribing and liking. Love you all.